Well, actually, while I'm throwing it out, let's go ahead and talk about the 10 best movies I saw, or my 10 favorite movies I saw last year. Coming in at number 10, I thought Naked Gun or Long Walk. The Naked Gun one, I was shocked that it was worth even watching. Liam Neeson is the only reason I wanted to see it. I was like, well, they're going to redo Frank Drebin with Liam Neeson, and this isn't going to be very good. And it was basically like a live-action version of Family Guy, and it's from Seth MacFarlane, so what do you expect? But I found it funny and entertaining for a movie I expected nothing from. I got a few chuckles, and it had the Police Squad feel to it, right? And then The Long Walk, I enjoyed it, but there's so much of that right now. They redid The Running Man, and I watched those two close to each other, and they're very similar, like Hunger Games plots type movie, where everything's just so bad in the future that we all have to do some crazy game show thing to win money or whatever, which is true, but you can only have so much of that. Number 9, I liked Companion. I don't know if you guys saw that. It's about these kind of futuristic, almost like Lars and the Real Girl sex robots type deal, and then they extend it farther into love and relationships and a bunch of other things. But really, it's more of just like the classic Stepford Wives, feminist expectation of what men think women should be and blah blah blah. So it's deep, but it's also funny and ridiculous, and it's got some good kills. I laughed a bunch of times watching it. So Companion, number 9. Number 8, Superman. I was very impressed by James Gunn's ability to do something interesting with a superhero genre. Right now, the returns on those are dropping fast. People are no longer interested in superheroes at all. There was a good decade there where you could just have any superhero and it would make money. So James Gunn's Superman, it interested me, and then we were talking about the Green Lantern trailer for HBO, and then the Peacemaker that's already out, and later on, I think around Halloween time is when they're supposed to have that Clayface horror movie, and then we get Supergirl in the summer, I think. So all that's going to be interesting over this next year regarding that. But I thought Superman was fun and different and weird. It wasn't one of the 5 best movies I saw of the year, but when I think back to 2025, it'll be one of the ones I remember the most. There was a lot of stuff that wasn't all that memorable to me. Number 7, from last year, Sinners. I was mildly let down by Sinners. I heard nothing but great things about it, and it is a movie I will definitely remember and go back and rewatch again and revisit. But I didn't think it was one of the best movies of the year. Primarily because there's sort of a subtext to the story about these white vampires and black music and theft and a bunch of other things. But the movie itself has a lot of theft. It is just From Dusk Till Dawn, and a little bit of Oh Brother, Where Art Thou, and maybe a pinch of Crossroads with Ralph Macchio. I feel like I'd seen a lot of Sinners before. Michael B. Jordan was did a fantastic job, but I'm still I need to watch Sinners again, because I don't totally understand why he was twins. I'm sure there was some sort of meaning to him playing 2 roles or whatever, but I never quite got it. Otherwise, I thought, the cinematography is beautiful, everything, it was a fun ride, the music was great, but it just wasn't so original and interesting to me that I thought it was the best movie. Like I said, Sinners, real good, worth watching, need to see it if you're, trying to see the current good stuff floating around and worth checking out. I just didn't love it as much as everyone else, so need to watch it again, definitely will, just probably not anytime soon. I'm not a big vampire guy like a lot of other people. I'm more of a zombies and werewolves kind of dude. Number 6, Begonia. I don't know, did you guys see Begonia? Begonia's crazy, right? It was in the theater, but it had a small kind of indie run, didn't make a ton of money. Emma Stone and Jesse Plemons. Real dark, crazy comedy, sort of mind-bending, bizarro. It's one of those where some people will watch it, and when they're done, they're just like, what the hell did I just watch? It's about, corporate America and greed and the way the world has gotten, where so many folks are conspiracy theorists and they're willing to believe that people who run corporations are really aliens, So these 2 sort of hapless dorks kidnap a CEO of a corporation, and the story unfolds from there. but it's a really good version of Celtic Pride, basically. No, Begonia's wild. I definitely recommend it. I believe it's is that a Paramount or is that one on Peacock? I think that's a Peacock. Yeah, I think that's a Peacock. So anyways, yeah, I recommend Begonia. That one's wild and crazy. It's be warned, you might not appreciate it. It's silly and funny and it makes you laugh, but you also kind of need a shower and a hug afterwards. We're on number 5, which was Bring Her Back. And that movie is crazy. Like, it made me feel all kinds of ways. Scary, you know, I really, once again, connected with the characters. Like, it was interesting to, you know, follow the story of these orphaned kids and the woman who gets them and stuff. I felt like it was very in the same universe as this, maybe. So this, they kind of needed to find something new that would scare people because everything's kind of been done. So the missing children thing is something I think that resonates emotionally with people. Like, I'd rather someone like hurt me or try to terrorize me than have anything to do with, you know, messing with my kids. So it's, from a horror standpoint, it affects people. I don't know how much it affects people who don't have kids, though. I'd be interested to know. Bring Her Back was number 5. Like I say, that one's a scary, creepy, just lots of gore and horror. Several times, Mrs. Night Owl squeezed the hell out of my arm. She was terrified. So I recommend Bring Her Back a lot. Number 4, Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein. That one, it's kind of weird. It's the modern way of doing movies. They release it to Netflix, but it has to have a theatrical run to get any sort of awards, you know, thing. So it was in the theater for like 2 weeks, whether it made all the money in the world or not. And then it comes to Netflix, and I watched it, I don't know, around Christmas time, something like that. And just beautiful. You know, it looks like an old, you know, classic Oscar bait movie. Perfect cinematography, costumes, all of it. Nosferatu was out recently, and I wasn't as enchanted with that. And everything that Nosferatu I thought was trying to accomplish, I thought Frankenstein did a better job of. I'll be curious to see if this Frankenstein, they have you know, a Bride of Frankenstein follow-up, or a Son of Frankenstein, or Frankenstein meets Abbott and Costello. I don't know. Who's the modern day Abbott and Costello? Kevin Hart and The Rock? I don't know. But yeah, I dug it. And now we're in the top 3. This one's controversial. Out of everything I picked, this is the one where people are like, no way, dude. Number 3, K-pop Demon Hunters. I know. I can't believe I said it either. It kind of hurts me that I said it, but it's honest. That shit, my kids watched it. So I would hear the music as I was like doing stuff around the house. It's catchy, you know, whatever. Then I hear the music on the damn radio in the car. And then I hear it at the grocery store. And then I hear it at the gas station. So, you know, a movie with a soundtrack that big, you know, I mean, Purple Rain, you know, shit like that. Like, that's like the level we're talking about with K-pop Demon Hunters just being everywhere. Golden, they played on the football games. People scored a touchdown, they played Golden. So I think if you look forward 10, 15 years out of the movies that will stand the test of time and folks will still give any consideration to from 2025, K-pop Demon Hunters has to be. They released it in the theaters for one weekend because it was just supposed to be like a Netflix deal. And it was in the theater for one weekend. It made whatever, $60 million or whatever. So people at Halloween were dressed up like it. I've been to 3 K-pop Demon Hunters birthday parties. So yeah, out of all of them, I think that one's, you know, just going to stand the test of time, at least as far as the soundtrack and all of it. So we'll keep going. But yeah, I can't believe it either. I liked K-pop Demon Hunters more than Sinners. And number 2, and we know what number 1 is because we're watching it. So number 2 is One Battle After Another. A lot of folks, divisive, One Battle After Another. It's a lot of folks didn't like it, found it kind of pretentious and weird and all over the place. A lot of not hateful, but angry. You know, it's a movie that doesn't feel like happy. A lot of sadness going on in it. But it's, to be frank, what it really is the scene in The Big Lebowski, where Big Lebowski, or the dude is laying in bed with Maude, and he explains to him like his backstory. You know, it's like, oh, I was a roadie for Metallica, and I was part of, you know, Seattle 7 or whatever. That was, you know, me plus 6 other guys. That whole thing. I'm pretty sure One Battle After Another is just that story turned into a big movie. And Leonardo DiCaprio basically plays the dude in it. Like, he's, just this burnt out, fried stoner thrown into this just crazy, like, CIA government secret conspiracy plot thing. And he's just fried out of his damn mind. And then there's, I don't know, a lot of the characters aren't likable is probably the biggest problem with One Battle After Another. It was directed by Paul Thomas Anderson, Magnolia and Boogie Nights and et cetera, et cetera. There Will Be Blood. That's all you need to know right there. If you like There Will Be Blood, this is probably your type of movie. But I thought One Battle After Another was definitely one I'll remember and talk about. I even now, sometimes I'll see some person walking around and I'll be like, oh, look, it's Jungle Pussy. So I recommend it. Sean Penn, this might be his last hurrah as far as winning any kind of awards. It might be his last great performance. I don't know. Sean Penn's probably got a few good years left in him, but he does fantastic in it. All of the cast itself, Benicio del Toro just like kind of stole that movie. Like he needs his own spin-off movie. So I recommend One Battle After Another. Like I said, then my favorite movie of the year was this. I thought it was the most interesting. It's the one I'm most likely to rewatch. This Weapons just feels like a good, almost Halloween time movie. Masterfully directed. Like I mentioned, Zach Kreger, he's kind of the hot new director right now. Often with directors, they have one big movie that comes out, or like a low budget movie that catches everybody's imagination and gets a lot of critical acclaim. In his case, that was Barbarian with Justin Long, and I don't remember who else was in it. But Barbarian got a lot of like word of mouth, and everybody started, I never heard of it. People told me, go check out Barbarian, you'll love it. So I ended up liking it. It was weird and different. This is his second movie. So a lot of directors, they get like a first movie. Tarantino's first movie was Reservoir Dogs, and then he gets a little bit of money and he can make Pulp Fiction, which is like a big movie. Spielberg does really good with like Duel, and then he ends up getting the money to make Jaws. So like they start out small. You don't get big budget money because you're a new director, but then that second film, after you've gotten people to pay attention to your first film, that's where you get to do what you want. So Barbarian was his first film, and this is his second film. And of course, here it is. It made a bunch of money, and it's going to, be up for Academy Awards and a variety of different wins at the Golden Globes and whatnot.